Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Passionate Pilgrim and we've made it to the 20th poem, but we still have to go back and do that one that some versions call poem 15, but it's 14 and 15 are in some versions split. But anyway, we've made it to poem number 20, and this one is likely not written by Shakespeare. It's very similar to a poem written by Richard Barnsfield, Philomel by Richard Barnsfield, but it's not exactly like other versions of that poem, and that one is shorter than this one, so it's possible that they took a couple different poems and smushed them together, and maybe this was an early draft or maybe this was a later draft or something. But in any case, the 20th poem says, "As it fell upon a day in the merry month of May, sitting in a pleasant shade which a grove of myrtles made, beasts did leap and birds did sing, trees did grow and plants did spring, everything did banish moan, save the nightingale alone. She, poor bird, as all forlorn, leaned her breast up till a thorn, and there sung the dolefulest ditty, that to hear it was great pity. Fie, 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 now would she cry, Tiro, Tiro, by and by, that to hear her so complain, scarce I could from tears refrain. For her grief so lively shown made me think upon mine own. Ah, thought I, thou mourn'st in vain, none takes pity on thy pain. Senseless trees, they cannot hear thee. Ruthless bears, they will not cheer thee. King Pandion, he is dead. All thy friends are lapped in lead. All thy fellow birds do sing, careless of thy sorrowing. Whilst as fickle fortune smiled, thou and I were both beguiled. Everyone that flatters thee is no friend in misery. Words are easy, like the wind. Faithful friends are hard to find. Every man will be thy friend, whilst thou hast wherewith to spend. But if store of crowns be scant, no man will supply thy want. If that one be prodigal, bountiful, they will him call, and with such like flattering, pity, but he were a king. If he be addict to vice, quickly him they will entice. If to women he be bent, they have at commandment. But if fortune once do frown, then farewell his great renown. They that fawned on him before use his company no more. He that is thy friend indeed, he will help thee in thy need. If thou sorrow, he will weep. If thou wake, he cannot sleep. Thus of every grief in heart, he with thee doth bear a part. These are certain signs to know faithful friend from flattering foe." So there's a lot to unpack here. And some of it is why I feel like it might be a couple of poems smushed together, but they also kind of make sense together if you follow the train of thought that goes on here. So first he starts out saying, we're in the month of May and I'm sitting in this beautiful shade and it's a beautiful spring day and everything is all happy and cheerful except for the nightingale, which is sitting there singing the saddest song that you've ever heard. And the speaker empathizes with the bird, and the bird singing this really sad song makes the speaker think about their own grief and their own sadness, which leads into a bit of a sad bit in the middle, including ruthless bears, they will not cheer thee, because, normally you look to wild bears to cheer you up when you're sad. But this leads to all of those things that are nice to you on the surface, all of those people that are nice to you on the surface, they're not necessarily the ones that are going to be there when you're sad, but it's the true friends that are really hard to find who will be there with you when you're sad. Everybody likes to go and befriend the person who has lots of money and has lots of fun and likes to go out drinking and all that sort of things. But as soon as that person's luck turns, people scatter like the wind and nobody wants to be around that person anymore. But the true friend is the one that helps you when you are in need. And he lists, if thou sorrow, he will weep. If thou wake, he cannot sleep. all of this stuff, your good friend is going to share in your grief, and these are the signs of a good, true friend. So we start with a beautiful day and a bird singing a sad song, which makes the author think about his own friendships and the people in his life and who's going to be there for him, because in this moment both he and the bird are alone in their grief. And it's funny, I don't know if any of you watch Bob's Burgers, but there's an episode where Teddy and Bob do this like stuntman workshop thing, and Linda makes up a song about them being best friends. That's sort of what the tail end of this makes me think of, if you want a nice pop culture reference in there. So anyway, that's the 20th poem. Yeah, go look up the other versions by Barnesfield and let me know what you think, because they sort of go in different directions and cut off at a different place. Yeah, I don't know. Does this one feel cohesive to you? It's a very sing-songy rhyming pattern, so it sort of makes sense that it's a springtime May poem. But anyway, yeah, it's a little long, a little weird. We got one more to go, and then we're going to move on to the next set of poems. So I'll see you tomorrow for that. Mwah.